Welcome to Go Fund This. I'm Rob Southgate, and today I have with me author Paige Lavoie, who has a Kickstarter currently going for the Mothman in Love Trilogy Collector's Edition. To give us a little upfront here, before we introduce you, Paige, we have 10 days to go as of this recording. Our goal is 25,000. And we are at 16,853. So you are well on your way. But I want this audience to get involved, share it with everybody, pledge. We want to hit this 25,000 because we have some really, really cool stretch goals. And okay. Paige, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited to have you on. I've interviewed you before for Inkblots and for a thing called 3 Questions. I almost interviewed you for Inkblots again today, and then I realized we've already done that. But today we're just talking about this Kickstarter. And for those of you that are interested, you can follow the link in the show notes. You can also go to Kickstarter, type in the number 4 Horseman Publications. You can type in Mothman in Love. You'll find it. And it's great. These editions are absolutely beautiful. Okay, Paige, first of all, let's hear about you. You're an author. Tell people about yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name's Paige Lavoie. I tend to write stories about misfits, monsters falling in love. And I really love that sort of cozy feeling that you get in the autumn. And I love things like Hallmark movies and stuff like that. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we made something that had that cozy classic rom-com, but for people who love monsters? And that's how Mothman in Love was born. Yeah.
Yeah. And you do like the cryptid thing too, not just the monster idea, but the cryptid idea. I know we've talked about that before. So, okay. The book, the story, this is a trilogy. This is a completed trilogy at this point. We had Mothman in Love, Mothman Engaged, now Mothman. I'm marrying Mothman. So there was a 4th book.
They got married.
Yeah, this is it, right?
No. Yeah, this is it. Oh. This is it. They're for them, yes. There is a character that you meet in the 3rd book. We'll jump ahead for a second. That will be getting a spinoff. Actually, 2 characters that you meet in that 3rd book. So the next one is a swamp monster, and it's actually the first stretch goal for this Kickstarter is an early preview of the swamp monster romance. So
oh my gosh.
If you're here and you've read the books and you're like, oh, Gil is so cute, I want more of him immediately. That's a reason in itself to help make the goal, because I've been working on editing it, and it's adorable.
You know, it's funny. I interviewed somebody else. We were talking about classic monsters, like the ones we love, and we all like the classics, right? But the one that, for whatever reason, I always go back to is Creature from the Black Lagoon. Yeah. I'm interviewing this other woman about him, and she goes, "Well, the one is Creature from the Black Lagoon," and it was the romance part of it. And I was like, it's so interesting that you hit on Gil being the character that could kind of go and expand this universe, because there's something about that swimming dude that works. So, okay. Mothman in Love. This Kickstarter, what we have is we have a trilogy of hardcovers with brand new covers, brand new artwork. They're absolutely gorgeous. It's a collector's edition. We're not going to be selling these any other way. So if you want this, you have got to support the Kickstarter, period. It's not one of these things where in 6 months it's going to come out. This is it. Your one chance. So if you're a fan of this, you definitely want to get in on this. And I know, Paige, you have a pretty big following. So people out there, don't miss your chance, because you're going to regret it. So what can you...
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Paige.
Well, I was going to say that's a question that I've actually been getting of, will I have these at events? Will they be in bookstores? And no, they're only going to be on this Kickstarter, and it's just for a limited time, which I think is kind of special, that this is the only way to get them. And there's only going to be just such a small, or, big, depending on how many people claim them. But whatever's printed is printed. And that's pretty cool. Yeah. I personally have been just planning my bookshelf, okay, where do I want to put them? And something I love is they all are not only a very lovely special edition, but they're great companion pieces if you have the original set already. So one of the things we did, well, we took colors from those first original books of Heather's dresses and matched them. So in the first I'm in Love with Mothman, where Moth and Heather first meet, she's a burnt out influencer who ditches her life online, moves to the woods. We see that reflected on the cover, and it matches perfectly his eyes and the color of her dress. The second one, the same thing with matching the colors of the dress. And you see him looking a little regal, sipping his tea as we get into some different realms and a little more fantasy motif. And the third one is their wedding. So we went very wedding invitation. So I can't wait to see them side by side. And the character cameos in the back happen to be done by the same artist who did the character artwork for the original covers too. So it's just such a cool thing to see.
This sounds like, I mean, it is the collector's edition, but it truly sounds like somebody that loves this series, this is a must have. This is like what you want as a collector. I know that I've got book series. I've talked about this with probably with you in talking about this. I love the Shannara series, and I have the Orbit printings of those. Sure, you can get it 20 different ways, but those Orbit printings, that special edition, you can't get them anymore. Oh my God, the covers and the way they did it all. There's something magic about having that special version, right?
Yes, and I think that was something so cool about designing it, because this is with Four Horsemen Publications, and our first meeting, it was very clear that we all wanted to make something that felt very bespoke. It felt very special, and it really spoke to the readers of this series and the energy of the series too, because it is a monster romance, but it's also a Beauty and the Beast retelling. There's also all of these little fantasy details. So I think that the designs, the typeset inside is also really beautiful, but they're floral, they're soft, and they really speak to that romance of the series.
I absolutely love it. Okay, so let's talk about this Kickstarter. We want to focus on a couple of different. I'm trying to get to it on my screen here. Give us a couple of tiers that you think people would be most excited about?
I mean, I know the tier that I'm most excited about is the Sprouts loot box. So we'll just start at like the highest tier, but there are really, really cool goodies there. We have a tote bag that it's going to have Moth and Heather's hands linked, and it says, "You are my flame," which is the most highlighted quote in the entire book series if you go on Kindle. So the "If I'm your moth, you're my flame" quote is written in this very pretty script that matches the book covers. I actually did the art for that too. I used to do webcomics, and I don't normally, drawing isn't a skill I tap into much. But when I sent it over to Four Horsemen of like, well, I have this art, I was just kind of doodling. They're like, cool, let's put it on the tote bag. So that's kind of thrilling for me. And then again, with the My Flame, there is a ring that in script says My Flame on it. And there's also really incredible stickers and prints. Something I love about this is we were really intentional about supporting small artists, and the bookmarks and the stickers, everything is done by an independent artist, and it's really cool.
You know what? I think that's actually the big winner here too. When I look at it, this Sprout loot box, the things that are in there, once again, having that collector's edition that really isn't just a bunch of like, oh, it's just a rehash. This seems very special. Mm-hmm. This seems like something that a fan would like, oh my God, I have to have, you know? So, and I love the items in here. It's beautiful.
I really love the thing that I love. I think my favorite goodie, I love them all, is the ring, because I love subtle book merchandise. So having something that says My Flame on it, it's one of those like, if you know kind of things. And
right.
That's really fun. Yeah. But then I think it's also really cool that you can get whatever book is your favorite too. So while the entire series is going to look stunning on your bookshelf, if you have a favorite book, if your friend has a favorite book, if one of the character cameos really speaks to you, you can like grab one of the books, and then all of the goodies can be done as add-ons as well. So I think that's pretty neat, that it really is
really cool.
Choose your own adventure. Yeah. For what works for you, your budget. There's a ton of cool options on there, and there's digital rewards too. If you want to support the campaign and you're more of an ebook reader or an audiobook person, you can get some really cool Mothman in Love wallpapers too, and that's a way to support us making our goal, and also to have a really cool backdrop for your computer.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so a couple of things hit me when you were just talking. You mentioned how you can get just single books. Uh, you know, what struck me is eh, eh, I think that people listening should think outside of the box too. Like if you've got a friend who's getting married that's a little bit
Mm.
romantic, getting the I'm getting married to Mothman book as a standalone, it's beautiful, it's unique, and it's the kind of thing that makes just a really special gift. And once again, after this Kickstarter's over, they're not getting this edition. So it's a really beautiful keepsake for a wedding, for an engagement. We all have those friends, or we are those people that love
Mhm.
the romance or love the
Or
cryptids.
love the Mothman. There's
Yeah.
some really lovely readers I've met at events, and I've seen the coolest things where couples have read the book together and like taken turns doing notes in the margins and doodles and
Oh, I
stuff.
love
And
it.
I love it, and I just imagine that if you're a cryptid fan or a fan of the series, which I'm just so grateful for, but this would be such a cool keepsake to have. Yeah.
Yeah, and it does. It makes an absolutely fantastic gift. And once again, it's good for supporting the project, because that's really what we're trying to do is support the project, support the author, support the publisher. Uh, if you're into that and it's like, hey, it's not just about getting the books, but it's about supporting, this is a great plan. Having the buy an individual, buy two, having the add-ons. That ring, you're right. Who wouldn't want that ring? You know?
I have
And
the sample and I wear it all the time.
do you?
Yeah.
But see, it's just really cool. And this is the one place you can do that kind of thing. So I do love that. Now I want to highlight another one. Um, the signed books, I think, are really important. You've got the number 11 through 100 numbered and signed. There are still a number of those available. So you can get in that lot of the first 100, you can get a numbered and signed book. Once again, upping the uniqueness, upping the special nature of what's going on here. If you sell 4,000 books, the people that got in on it got those first 100 signed by you. That is really something very special. Once again, something that me as a supporter of Kickstarters of Indiegogos or whatever, that's the kind of thing I look for.
I'm
So
really excited about those. I love signing books. You've seen me at PopCon where I was just sitting there and like drawing little things and just
yep.
taking too much
So okay,
time. You
Paige.
guys were like, Paige, you need to go to the airport. I'm like,
But I'm drawing something and writing to somebody.
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go past this. I want to talk about your stretch goals because
Mhm.
in my mind we have confidently hit 25,000. Okay, we've got
Okay.
plenty of time to do it. So I'm looking at these stretch goals. Uh, First stretch goal. It's not a tough one to hit. $500 over, everybody gets ebooks. So that right there, that's a great stretch goal because these are collector's editions. You may not want to crease them and
Oh,
you may want to
true.
have the beauty up. So being able to read it as an ebook while looking at the beautiful edition, trust me, that has gotten me in the past.
Yeah.
Getting the ebook along with it because it's a way to read it without messing it up because you want it to be like you mentioned on your bookshelf. We all watch book talkers,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
And they have their curated bookshelf, and I know I'm jealous. And this would be so beautiful in there. I'll read the ebook so I don't crease things, so I don't mess them
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
You know. So what about other stretch goals? Which ones do you want to focus on?
I mean, I already kind of led with I'm excited about the small monster goal. I think that's great. The like above and beyond goal is really fun. That if this went wild,